friends, so today we'll learn clauses and phrases. So now, clauses. What are clauses? Clauses are parts of sentences that have a subject and predicate. They may or may not convey a complete thought. Let us understand them with the help of some examples. Example number 1. Ria will pass if she works hard. So, in this sentence, we have two clauses. The first clause is Ria will pass, and the second one is if she works hard. In the first clause, the subject is Ria and will pass is its predicate. And in the second clause, we have the subject as she. She is the subject because it refers to Ria, and the predicate is works hard. In clauses, it is also necessary to have a verb. So in the first clause, the verb is will pass, and in the second clause, the verb is works. In this sentence, the word if is used as a conjunction. Let us have a look at the second example. I met a girl whose eyes were blue. This sentence also has two clauses. The first clause is I met a girl, and the second one is whose eyes were blue. In the first sentence or clause, we have I as the subject and met a girl as a predicate. And in the second clause, we have whose as the subject because whose refers to the girl whose eyes were blue. So, whose is the subject and eyes were blue is the predicate. In the first clause, the verb is met, and in the second clause, the verb is were. So now, let's move on to understand the phrases, and also we'll do exercises at the end of this session regarding phrases and clauses. Phrases. What are phrases? A collection of words that do not have a subject or a verb is called a phrase. They do not contain a complete thought and do not make sense on their own. Let us understand them better through some examples. The first example is an elephant with a white skin is found in Thailand. In this sentence, we have a phrase with a white skin. It is a phrase because it does not have a subject or a verb, and also it does not convey a complete thought. Now, if we express the same sentence as a clause, it would be an elephant which is white in color is found in Thailand. Now, in this sentence, we have a clause which is white in color is found in Thailand. In this clause, we have a subject that is which, because which refers to the elephant, and also a predicate that is white in color is found in Thailand. In this sentence, we also have a verb that is. Let's move on to the second example. It is the king sat on a throne of gold. In this sentence, we have a phrase of gold. It is a phrase because it does not have a subject or a verb, and also it does not convey a complete thought. Now, if we express this sentence as a clause, it would be the king sat on a throne that was made of gold. This sentence also has two clauses. The first clause is the king sat on a throne. The second clause is that was made of gold. In the first clause, the subject is the king and the verb is sat, and we have the predicate as sat on the throne. In the second clause, we have the subject is that. That refers to the throne, and the verb is was, and the predicate is was made of gold. So friends, I hope you understood phrases and clauses. But if there is some doubt, then we would clear them in the exercises that we'll do now. So now we begin with the exercises. The first one is identify the phrases and clauses in the following sentences. The first one is done for us. For your convenience, I would like to explain you the first one. It is a clause because it has a subject, that is who. It also has a verb, has, and a predicate, has done it. Let's begin with the second one. I'm shocked to hear the news. In this sentence, we have a phrase, to hear the news. It is a phrase because it does not have a subject, a verb, and does not convey a complete thought. The king sat on a throne of gold. In this statement, once again, we have a phrase, that is of gold. It is a phrase because it does not make any sense on its own. Number 4 is, you may sing whatever you like. In this statement, we have a clause, whatever you like. Now, it is a clause because it has a subject, that is you, and a verb, that is like. Please note that predicates are also not so necessary for clauses. The next one is, the girl who had blue eyes was very attractive. It has a clause, that is, who had blue eyes. This is because here we have the subject as who, which refers to the girl, and we have a verb that is had, and also a predicate, that is had blue eyes. Number 6 is, Neil Armstrong was the first man on the moon. Here we have a phrase, on the moon. It is easy to identify it because this part does not make some sense or any sense on its own. Next one is, being in great need, he approached me for help. In this sentence, we have two phrases. The first one is in great need and the second one is for help. They are phrases because these parts do not convey any meaning. The next one is, he lived in a house that belonged to her grandmother. In this sentence, we have a phrase and also a clause. The phrase here is in a house and the clause is that belonged to her grandmother. The phrase in a house does not convey any meaning, and the clause that belonged to her grandmother has a subject that is that, which refers to the house, and we have a verb that is belonged and a predicate that is belonged to her grandmother. I hope this exercise has helped you to understand clauses and phrases. The next exercise is exercise B, in which we have to identify whether the underlined words in the following sentences are a phrase or a clause. The number 1 is, opening the gate, Rajan let his dog into the garden. Opening the gate is a clause because it has a verb that is opening. It also has a subject that is the gate, and it also conveys some meaning. The next one is, it is too bad that my friend is going to another city. My friend is going to another city is a clause because it is a verb that is going, and a subject that is my friend. It also has a predicate that is going to another city. It can be considered a sentence within itself, hence it is a clause. The next one is, the player who wins the match will get a free trip to Shimla. Who wins the match is also a clause because it has a subject that is who, which refers to the player. Wins is the verb and it has a predicate that is wins the match. Hence it is a clause. The next one is, After listening to her students, Malik ma'am decided to take a quiz. After listening to her students is also a clause because it has a subject that is her, which refers to Malik ma'am. Then it also has a verb that is listening, and it also has a predicate. It is conveying some meaning too. The next one is the cat went missing on the stormy night. On the stormy night is a phrase because it does not have a subject or a verb and is not conveying any meaning within itself. The next one is whenever I feel lonely, I go to my grandmother's house. The words underlined are whenever I feel lonely. It is a clause because it has a subject that is I. It also has a verb that is feel and also has a predicate. Then it is also conveying some meaning, hence it is a clause. The next one is they all started walking together towards the city. The words underlined are towards the city. Towards the city is a phrase because it does not have any subject or verb and it is not conveying any meaning within itself. The last one is if the film doesn't have any comedy, Sheila won't watch it. The words underlined are Sheila won't watch it. So, Sheila won't watch it is a clause because it has a subject that is Sheila. It also has a verb that is won't watch and a predicate that is won't watch it. Hence it is a clause. It is conveying some meaning and can be considered a sentence within itself. So friends, I am very sure that you have understood the topic clauses and phrases. Now you would be able to identify the clauses and phrases and understand them better. Thanks for watching.